let's talk about something we've all felt. You know that feeling when it comes to money? Like you're on a treadmill, you're running, you're putting in the work, you're sweating, but you're not actually going anywhere, right? It's that frustrating feeling of working twice as hard just to see your bank account, well, not really do anything. If you felt that, you're definitely not alone. It's a really common struggle. Now, all the modern advice tells us to budget better or get a side hustle. But what if the real reason for the struggle goes a little deeper? There's an ancient system, Vedic Astrology or Jyotish, that offers a completely different perspective. It suggests our financial patterns aren't just random luck, they're actually part of a cosmic map we're given at birth. So let's take a look at what that map actually says. Okay, so this whole financial treadmill thing, why do we feel so stuck? Well, from a Vedic point of view, the answer doesn't start with your spending habits. It starts with an energetic blueprint you carry with you into this life. And that blueprint is tied to a concept called prarabdha karma. Now, that might sound complicated, but a simple way to think about it is like your karmic starting point. It's not about being punished or rewarded. It's just the energetic conditions you begin with in this lifetime, especially when it comes to money. So, to see what this karmic starting point looks like, Vedic astrology zooms in on specific money zones in your birth chart. Just imagine your chart is a big wheel split into 12 different sections, or houses, and each one rolls over a different part of your life. Let's break down the big ones for our finances. First up, we've got the second house. This is basically your cosmic bank vault. It's all about your savings, your assets, your overall financial stability. When this house is in good shape, money has a way of sticking around. But then, on the complete other side of things, you have the eighth house. If the second house is your vault, the eighth is like the hole in the bottom of it. This house is all about sudden changes and shocks. You know, the surprise car repair, the unexpected medical bill, all those things that just seem to drain your money out of nowhere. And of course, we have to talk about Venus, or Shukra. Think of Venus as your personal money magnet. It governs luxury, comfort, and just your general ability to attract nice things. When Venus is strong in your chart, opportunities and resources just seem to flow your way. But if it's weak, it can feel like you're pushing a giant rock up a hill for very little reward. So you can see how this stuff shows up in the real world, right? That feeling of money just slipping through your fingers even though you're earning a good salary. That's a challenged second house. Those constant out-of-the-blue financial emergencies, that's a stressed-out eighth house. And that feeling of working so hard but just not attracting the opportunities you deserve, that could be a weak Venus. Now I know what you might be thinking. Great, my second house is a mess, my Venus is weak, I'm doomed. But hang on, because this is probably the most important part of this whole conversation. We need a major reality check here. I want you to really let this sink in. Your astrological chart is a map. It is not a prison sentence. It doesn't lock you into some unchangeable fate. All it does is show you the terrain. It shows you where the hills are steep and where the rivers flow easily, so you can navigate your life with awareness. The difference really comes down to mindset. A prison mindset says, my chart is bad, so I'm cursed, nothing I can do. But a map mindset, that's totally different. It says, okay, my chart shows this area is tricky. That just means it's where I need to apply some extra focus and a smarter strategy. It's a huge shift from feeling fated to feeling focused. So if we're going with that map mindset, how do we actually start navigating better? Let's talk about some real practical things you can do right now to tune up your financial engine. This chart breaks it down perfectly. Take cash flow. The struggle mindset is just I need to earn more money. But the growth mindset says, wait, first, let's manage the leakage. That's tackling those eighth house issues head on. Or look at assets. It's easy to ignore long-term stuff when you're stressed day to day. But the growth mindset automates investments, letting compound interest do the heavy lifting. And finally, income. Instead of just trading your hours for dollars, which is always limited, the goal is to build systems that can earn money for you. And here are 2 super simple things you can literally start today. 1, automate your savings, even if it's just 5%. Set up a transfer for the day you get paid so you save first, not last. 2, do an 8th house audit. Go through your statements and hunt down those sneaky little leaks, unused subscriptions, mindless impulse buys, and cut them. Be ruthless. Okay, so once you've started with those practical, real-world actions, you can then layer on some support from the ancient energetic toolkit. Think of these as ways to work with the energies on your map to make the journey a little smoother. And what's so fascinating is that these remedies are almost always action-based. For instance, the second house doesn't just rule money, it also rules your speech. So a powerful remedy to strengthen your finances is to practice speaking with honesty and kindness. See the connection? And to boost your 11th house of gains and networks, you actively build a supportive professional circle. It's about doing, not just wishing. This chart is a great cheat sheet. It shows you how to align your daily habits with planetary energies. Want to tap into Jupiter's energy of abundance? Practice gratitude. Want to strengthen your Venus for more luxury and flow? The simple act of keeping your space clean and beautiful does that. Need that Saturn-style discipline? The remedy is right there. Stick to your budget and honor your commitments. These are small, conscious choices that shift your energy. Now, there are also more specific traditional tools. You've got gemstones, which are seen as powerful amplifiers for a planet's energy. There are yantras, which are sacred geometric designs that act as an anchor for a specific energy, like abundance. And of course, mantras, sound vibrations that help focus your mind and intention on a goal. But I have to give you a huge, huge warning here. Please listen to this. Never, and I mean ever, just pick a gemstone and start wearing it because you read about it somewhere. The source material is crystal clear on this. The wrong stone for your specific chart can actually amplify the negative energies you're trying to fix, making things way worse. This is not the place for DIY experiments. Always, always consult a professional. But, after all the talk of planets and gemstones, the tradition always comes back to the single most powerful remedy there is, and it's all about your dharma, your purpose, your duty, the work you are meant to be doing in the world. Performing that duty with excellence and integrity, that is the ultimate game changer. So in the end, it really boils down to this. It's not an either-or. It's not practical finance or energetic work. The real magic happens when you combine them, when you take focused, smart action in the real world and you back it up with conscious energy management to work with your cosmic map, not feel like a victim of it. And that really leaves us with one final thought. Once you understand your map and you start making conscious choices, is your financial story really about fate anymore? Or does it become a story about focus? Ultimately, that's a choice you get to make.